Center here in Lilongwe. This is Luntha TV News. 7 days after the vote casting day, Malawi remains in a period of patient vigilance. The Malawi Electoral Commission has steadfastly done a meticulous process demanding both accuracy and integrity. In this time of waiting, the collective prayer of the nation is for a peaceful and truthful outcome, one that reflects the will of the people and lays a foundation for nation building and progress. I'm Kathy Matura giving you the news at this hour. First, the headlines. Pope Leo warns against artificial intelligence threats to humanity. DPP presidential candidate Arthur Peter Mutharika takes early lead in 2025 presidential race. Center for Human Rights Education, Advice and Assistance CHREAA describes 16 September elections as fair but lacking on inclusivity. In African news, 3 West African countries quit ICC, slam imperialist bias. And now the news in detail. In news from the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV expressed concerns about artificial intelligence, stating that it's challenging to find the presence of God in AI. He made the remarks during his first ever interview after being elected Pope, where he clearly stated that he refused a proposal to create a digital avatar of himself, emphasizing the importance of human connection and spiritual leadership. The Pope warned that wealth investors are prioritizing AI development over human values, potentially eroding human dignity. Bridget Mwanoka reading a Catholic News Agency report.
Pope Leo said the danger is that the digital world will follow its own path and Christians will become pawns or be brushed aside. During the interview held at Villa Babelin, the papal residence in Castel Gandolfo, Pope Leo made it clear that the Church is not against technological advances, but the incredible pace at which the technology is developing is worrying. However, he noted the problems created by AI fabrications in an era plagued by deepfakes, AI-created images, videos or audio recordings, and even spoke of a personal case in which he was the victim of a fake video. The Holy Father warned of the great challenge of fake news because the temptation is for people to believe it, and they believe it because there seems to be a need in some people to receive it.
In elections, let us update the Democratic Progressive Party DPP presidential candidate Arthur Peter Mutharika is leading in the 2025 general elections based on confirmed results from 24 councils released so far by the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC. According to MEC figures, Mutharika has garnered over 2 million votes, while Malawi Congress Party MCP leader Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has secured 732,575 votes. More details in this report filed by Charity Chilanga.
Out of the 24 councils where results have been officially announced, Dr. Chakwera has emerged victorious in 3 councils of Unchisi, Kasungu Municipality and Dowa, while Mutharika has taken the lead in the remaining 21. MEC is yet to release the results from 12 more councils of Kalonga District, Nkatape, Kasungu District, Mchinji, Deta, Lilongwe District, Mchewu, Mangochi District, Mangochi Municipal, Palombe, Brandia District and Chiradzulu to determine the final outcome of the presidential race. To cross the constitutional 50+1 threshold of 2,344,587 votes, Mutharika now needs below 206,000 votes from the remaining 12 councils. President Chakwera, by contrast, faces an uphill battle as he requires over 1.6 million votes from those same councils to reach the same benchmark. MEC data shows that 3,293,767 Malawians voted in the declared councils, with 83,781 ballots rejected as void votes, representing about 2.5% of total votes cast. According to statistics, 4,689,172 people voted in the last Tuesday's election, representing a 65.10% turnout. The electoral body is mandated to announce the winner latest September 24th, 2025. As the nation awaits the overall official results, MEC has reiterated its commitment to a transparent, fair and peaceful electoral process.
The Malawi chapter of the Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA Malawi, has applauded local media houses for their professional and fearless coverage of the September 16, 2025 general election. MISA Malawi chairperson Golden Matonga said media outlets worked hand in hand with the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC in voter awareness campaigns and provided balanced coverage of both the ruling and opposition parties. He made the remarks today at the Bingu International Conference Center in Lilongwe as Malawians await the official results from MEC.
Tremendously well. It has covered the elections professionally. From the very beginning to this far, we have seen media houses dedicating a lot of resources, including financial and personnel, to ensure that these elections are successful. Journalists were able to highlight critical issues in the election. We are able to be analytical about how the processes we are panning out. So we should really be able to applaud the media for the tremendous work that they have done. There were a number of challenges, of course, just as in any other process, but overall I think my impression is that journalists have done very well, and media houses should be able to be acknowledged for the role that they have done in contributing to the success of these elections.
The September 16 general election has exposed how Malawi's agricultural sector is disrupted when political processes collide with the farming season, raising fears that food production and distribution could be negatively affected. Agricultural expert Felix Jumbe observed that shifting the election period from May to September has created serious clashes with the farming calendar. He explained that this is the same period when farmers are busy investing in production and when government is expected to roll out crucial activities such as distribution of fertilizer and other farm imports. Judith Organ has filed a report read by Charity Chilanga.
Jumbe said the overlap between campaign activities and farming needs affects not only government budgeting, but also extension services and logistics that are vital to farmers. He noted that election preparations often take over infrastructure and resources that would otherwise support agriculture, disrupting service delivery in rural areas. He warned that this misalignment possesses risks to Malawi's status as an agriculture-based economy, as political priorities can sideline timely investment in farming systems. According to him, failing to protect the agricultural calendar ultimately undermines both farmers' livelihoods and the national food security.
I think especially the change of calendar, moving elections period from May to this September, it will always impact on our agriculture production calendar negatively. Negatively because, from the period for campaign and preparing for campaign is equally the same period that farmers are harvesting and doing many other things.
Looking ahead, Jumbe stressed the need to commercialize Malawi's agricultural sector and upgrade smallholder farming into professionalized production systems. He argued that this would strengthen commodity markets and give farmers the resilience to thrive even when political events disrupt traditional cycles. At the same time, he called for reforms in food distribution and market systems to ensure that farmers are supported as commercial players. Jumbe emphasized that without commercialization and proper market structures, elections and other disruptions will continue to hold back Malawi's progress towards sustainable agriculture and economic stability.
You're watching news live on Luntha TV. We take a short break. Stay with us.
Mwaswera Grace.
Ndaswera kai maive.
Mwagula mabuku kodi?
Ayi ndabwereka ku library.
Kodi yakope ni secondary school so mmatha kugwiritsa ntchito library ya school?
Ndichina chilichonsetu. Library, lab ya science, ya ICT, komanso maphunziro amakono apa phone, tablet, computer ndi digital learning. Timagwiritsa ntchito notesmaster.com. Ndi chimodzimodzi lophunzira aliyense wa ku secondary school ya boma.
Izi ziri ndiye zosangalatsa. Maphunziro apamwamba ndithu. Ayiveru bajasana sankhidwe ndini madankhava kuti kodi kadi ndipanga bwanji.
Ife tonse amene tinakhonza mayeso a 8 koma sitinasankhidwe kupita ku secondary, munasiyira sukulu ya secondary panjira, kapena mukufuna kutsitsa ma points, dziwani kuti unduna wa maphunziro a primary ndi secondary unakhazikitsa maphunziro a open secondary schools ngati njira imodzi yowonjezera mwayi wa maphunziro apamwamba kudzera msukulu za secondary za m'madera athu kumene kuli aphunzitsi odziwa ntchito yawo bwino komanso zipangizo zapamwamba zoyenera pa maphunziro. Musazengereze, kalembetsani lero ku open secondary school ya mdera lanu kuti mupeze maphunziro apamwamba.
Uthengawu akukupatsirani ndi unduna wa maphunziro aku primary ndi secondary kudzera ku Equals Project ndi thandizo la ndalama lochokera ku World Bank.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Luntha TV News and I'm Kathy Matura. Before we proceed, here is a recap of the news making the headlines at this hour. Pope Leo warns against artificial intelligence threats to humanity. DPP presidential candidate Arthur Peter Mutharika takes early lead in 2025 presidential race. Center for Human Rights Education Advice and Assistance CHREAA describes 16 September elections as fair but lacking on inclusivity. In African news, 3 West African countries quit ICC, slam imperialist bias. Moving on, the Executive Director of the Center for Human Rights Education Advice and Assistance, CHREAA, Victor Mhango, has described the 2025 elections as fair but lack inclusivity, with concerns raised over categories of Malawians who were denied the opportunity to vote despite being eligible. He said while the electoral process was largely credible, it left out prisoners and some students who could not transfer their names to new voting centers, thereby limiting their participation. We have a report.
Muhango further pointed out that low voter turnout was worrying trend, with only about 5 million out of 22 million Malawians casting their ballot. He described this was a very unfortunate and stressed that the need of reforms and ensure that citizens take part in choosing their leaders. He emphasized that democracy cannot thrive when large segment of society feels excluded, warning that this weakens the public trust in the both election process and the political leadership.
I think it's a mixed bag. If we are talking of in terms of fairness, we can say that it was fair. But I think the only problem that we are having is that not so many people expressed their feelings regarding the choice of their candidate because of the laws that was put in place, and it has actually denied some categories of people to take part. For example, I think I'll mention that many prisoners were denied to right to vote because they did not transfer their names to the place they were going after prison sentence.
Looking ahead, Muhango emphasized that law of civil society in holding up incoming government accountable. He also said that CHREAA and other organizations will continue to act as a system of checks and balance by monitoring government expenditures and ensuring that resources are used transparently. He adds that post-election, civil society must step up its work in amplifying the citizens' voice, advocating for reforms that guarantee inclusivity, according to him. He also said this is the only way that Malawian can strengthen its democracy foundation and protect their rights of the citizens.
Kingsley Namakwa, who contested as a Member of Parliament under the United Transformation Movement (UTM), has graciously accepted his defeat in the tripartite election held on 16 September 2025. Despite the disappointment of not securing a victory in the Tiolo Konjeni constituency, Namakwa remains committed to serving his community and advocating for positive change. Patrick Pupa reports.
In the face of this setback, Namakwa encourages his supporters to continue working towards progress and unity. He expressed gratitude for the unwavering support he received throughout his campaign and emphasized that every effort made during this election cycle has contributed to raising awareness about important local issues.
My acceptance comes from the background that I realized that the results which were coming forth were not in favor of my name. So I felt that the one who was like unofficially leading, the gap was too wide. So I felt that there's no way I could close that gap. So I came out and said, no, I think congratulations, my brother. We'll help each other to develop our area, but I've given in that I've lost this election.
This marks the third time Namakwa has run for a parliamentary seat, having won in 2009, but failing to secure a victory in 2014 and 2025 respectively. Namakwa believes that even in defeat, there are variable lessons to be learned and opportunities to grow stronger as a community. He remains optimistic about the future and urges his followers to stay engaged in the democratic process, reminding them that true change often takes time and perseverance. As he looks ahead, Namakwa reassures his supporters that he will continue to advocate for their needs and remain an active participant in community development. Together, he believes that they can strive for a better tomorrow, regardless of the outcome of this election. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
Evangelical Association of Malawi EAM has called on Malawians to embrace peace, prayer and unity as the nation awaits the outcome of the 2025 general elections. In a statement signed by its president, Reverend Mark Kambalazaza, and General Secretary, Reverend Francis Mkandawire, the association urged both political leaders and citizens to safeguard the credibility of the vote by avoiding actions that could undermine the process. Here is a report.
The association stressed that tampering with election results not only weakens democracy but also robs citizens of their constitutional right to choose leaders freely. EAM said such actions, which have been witnessed in past elections, must never be repeated. EAM further praised the Malawi Electoral Commission for conducting the electoral process with professionalism, saying this is key to maintaining public trust in the system. The third body also appealed to political parties to demonstrate maturity, encouraging winners to celebrate with humility and losers to accept defeat with dignity for the sake of national unity. EAM invited Christians and the wider population to remain steadfast in prayer, noting that a government born out of a credible election should be guided by wisdom, fairness, and justice in serving the people of Malawi. Reporting for Luntha News, this is Fales Jizombe.
In regional news, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have announced they will immediately withdraw from the International Criminal Court (ICC), labeling it an instrument of neo-colonialist repression. The three military-led countries issued a joint statement saying they would not recognize the authority of the United Nations top court based in The Hague. Bridget Manoka reading a BBC report.
According to the three countries, the ICC has proven itself incapable of handling and prosecuting proven war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide, and crimes of aggression. The court has not yet responded to the decision by the three countries, all of which with close ties to Russia, whose leader Vladimir Putin has been subject to an ICC arrest warrant. The three states said they wanted to set up indigenous mechanism for the consolidation of peace and justice. They accused the ICC of targeting less privileged countries, echoing criticism from Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, who has previously accused the ICC of holding an anti-African bias. The ICC was set up in 2002 to legally pursue cases of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and aggression. Out of the three cases launched since its inception, all but one involved an African country. A country's withdrawal from the ICC officially takes effect 1 year after the UN is notified.
The BBC report on the ICC withdrawal by the three former ECOWAS member states, read by Bridget Manoka, brings us to the end of this bulletin. Here is a recap of the news making the headlines before I sign out. Pope Leo warns against artificial intelligence threats to humanity. DPP presidential candidate Arthur Peter Mutharika takes early lead in 2025 presidential race. Center for Human Rights Education, Advice and Assistance (CHREAA) describes 16 September elections as fair but lacking on inclusivity. In African news, 3 West African countries quit ICC, slam imperialist bias. We've come to the end of the bulletin at this hour. May we all remember that the journey towards a final declaration continues A reminder that building a just society is a marathon, not a sprint. Luntha TV joins the nation in being mindful of the call to be instruments of peace, to seek understanding over discord and the truth over speculation. We entrust our nation to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. May God bless Malawi. I'm Kathy Matura, and goodbye for now.